Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures, and I feel like it's a little bit weird for me to be making an entire video on how I edit my Instagram pictures, but this is super requested from you guys. And also, I'm pretty open about editing my Instagram pictures and any pictures in general, and if you say that you don't, then you're probably lying. But I feel like if you can enhance a photo and make it look better, then I mean, why not? Sometimes the camera just doesn't capture the picture as well as it looks in person, especially when it comes to makeup photography. Sometimes the colors just don't show through as vibrant, and you're like, you have this amazing makeup look that you've done, and then you take a picture of it and you're like, why doesn't it look like this in the picture? And it gets really frustrating, so that is where editing your pictures comes into play, and it's honestly such a great thing to have. I know people are super judgmental over it and think that it's a big deal and you should embrace yourself, but it's not that we're not embracing ourselves, it's more of the fact of we're just spicing it up, you know what I mean? I watched a few videos like this before filming this one because I've never really filmed a video like this before and I don't really know how it works. So I wanted to watch a few other ones to get an idea on how people go about this, and it seems as if everybody gives like tips and tricks first in the beginning of their video on how to pose and how to take Instagram pictures, and honestly, I really don't know. I'm not a professional. I feel like I still don't know how to get the perfect Instagram picture. I'm super awkward when I take pictures. I'm still learning to get comfortable. But I guess the main tips that I would have is just the basics, like have good lighting. Sunlight and daylight is obviously the best kind of lighting there is, but I will typically, if I ever have a picture on this white wall behind me, which I have a lot of those on my Instagram feed, then I will have my ring light and my softboxes surrounding me. And I really like simplistic backgrounds too. You guys can see that if you look through my feed. I like a white background and I like it to be not very busy in the background. That's just for me personally. I feel like it's a lot easier to get your feed to flow if it's not too busy and it's like very simple and clean. Then it just kind of flows on its own. And then also make sure that you are comfortable with the person who's taking the pictures of you, because I know I'm super awkward when taking pictures, so I want to make sure that the person who's taking my pictures is somebody that I'm comfortable with. And also make sure that it's somebody who's patient, because I know I need like 500 pictures taken of me before I find a good one. So make sure it's somebody who understands that and is okay with like taking a bunch of pictures with you at different angles and is like down with it, you know? So the last tip that I really have is that you guys do not need to have a super expensive camera. I typically just use my iPhone camera. I find that it works the best for me. Even for makeup pictures, a lot of the time I use the back camera on my iPhone, and I'll use the flash. And then sometimes every now and then I will use my Sony A5100. This is my vlogging camera. And then very rarely I'll use my EOS 70D, my Canon 70D, which is what I'm filming with right now. But honestly, the majority of the time I'm just using my iPhone camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I edit my pictures. I'll probably put it on a screen somewhere right here. But before we get into this video, if you guys like me and you like my channel, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really love to have you guys here. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how I edit my Instagram pictures, then please keep watching. So I think I'm going to show you guys like two different styled Instagram pictures. I'm going to show you guys like a makeup selfie picture, and then I'm going to show you guys like a long full body picture. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys my Instagram. So this is my main Instagram. The @ name is just Lamia Dagher. And as you guys can see, I kind of have like this consistent like white background theme going. But this is my glam page. And my glam page does not flow at all, but this is typically where I would post the picture that I'm going to edit today. And any makeup pictures, I just don't really tend to post makeup pictures on my main Instagram anymore. I do more of like outfit posts and like selfies and stuff. But these are the apps that I use for editing my pictures. A lot of these are for editing thumbnails, so I do want to know if you guys do end up liking this video, if you guys want to see how I edit my YouTube thumbnails, because I feel like that would be a really good video because people don't really talk about that very often. I feel like people are kind of secretive about it, honestly, but I've got you guys. If you guys want to see how I edit my thumbnails, I will definitely do that in a different video. So I just have Facetune, Facetune 2. Facetune 2, I only have like the free version. I didn't buy any of the extra stuff in it. Same with VSCO or VSCO, however you say it. I didn't buy any of the presets. I just have all of the ones that come in it. And then I have an EOS remote, which connects to my Canon. That's how I get the pictures onto my phone. And then I have Play Memories, which connects to my Sony. And then I have a bunch of apps down here for editing thumbnails. So I'm gonna go ahead and open Facetune 2. Okay, so this is a picture from my last makeup tutorial. This is the picture in my thumbnail. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys how I edit this picture. I was gonna show you guys this picture instead, but I feel like this one was really heavily smoothed already from my Sony because it has a soft smoothing feature on it. So I'm not gonna do that one because I feel like it's not fair and you guys wanna see me like smooth my face and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one because this one is just fresh and it doesn't have any smoothing on it other than what might still come from the Sony, but I turned it off, but sometimes it'll still have like a smoothing feature on it regardless. So the first thing that I would do for this picture is I would go to Retouch and then I'll go to Whiten and I'll start whitening the background. This is what I do for all of my pictures. I always whiten the background and I'm just gonna go ahead and raise that up. That way I can see what I'm doing exactly. And I'm just gonna go ahead and whiten the wall behind me. And I know it looks kind of intense right now, but I will turn it down. I just need to see what I'm doing first. So now that I have all of the back whitened, I can raise it and lower it to however much I want. I usually do it pretty high, but not too high to where it looks like extremely fake. So I'm probably gonna leave it like right here. And then sometimes if I really want to, I'll go back later and whiten it more, but you can get a better idea once the whole picture is like fully edited. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get judged for, but you know what? Why not? I'm gonna show you guys, I have no shame. So there's this blessing of a feature in Facetune 2 that is surprisingly free. It's in the face section, so I press face, and this is honestly so hysterical. So sometimes if I feel like I need my smile to be like a little bit happier, you can like raise the smile thing. Obviously I would never do it that much, but I think that is the funniest thing ever. But sometimes I'll raise it like just a little bit and you really can't tell a difference, but it'll just make you look like you're smiling a little bit more, and I think it's so funny. I don't think I did it to this picture, but I do it sometimes because it's honestly just funny in general, but I guess I'll just leave it on like, I think that's 3, 4, 3. We'll leave it on 3. You really can't tell the difference. Like people would be like, why are you doing that? But you know, just for fun. So then I'm gonna go to jaw, and this is my favorite feature on Facetune. And it's a little bit psychotic, but I do this to every single picture. Just because, you know, why not? So basically what this does is it changes the shape of your jaw. So you can either make it like bigger or you can make it smaller. And I just like to make my jaw smaller. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it to like right there. And honestly, again, not that big of a difference. Nobody would see it except me, but you know, it's available, so why not? So I'm gonna put that on there. This is so funny. Okay, so after I do that, I'm gonna go into Retouch again, and then I'm gonna go to Smooth, and then I'm gonna zoom in on my face, and when I do this, I never do smoother. I know the original Facetune has smoother available. I never do that because personally I think it's way too smooth. I always do the regular smooth and I'll just tap. So I'll never like actually go like this and like smear it across. I just tap on the screen and then smooth out my skin. And I never really do it too overboard. I just do it a little bit, and then if I ever have a pimple on my face that I need to cover, I'll usually patch it instead of do this because I think that's the best way. but when I'm just smoothing out my skin, I just tap it with smoother, and I look like I have a mustache in this picture. I'll also go in and like smooth my lips. This time I go kind of heavy when I smooth my lips, and then I go over it with the eraser because I just don't like the lines in my lips. You can also see like the lipstick line in the center, so I just like to kind of smooth that out a little bit. And then I'll go back in on this side where my mustache is, and tapping. I'll tap around my nose a little bit, around my under eyes. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press the check mark and save that. So now I'm gonna go into Retouch again, and I'm gonna go over to details, and I'm just going to detail my nose highlight. Again, I'm just tapping my Cupid's bow highlight, and you can just raise it and lower it however much you want it. I'll probably just do it like right here, and then I'll tap on this part of the bridge of my nose, and then on my inner corners. And if it's a little bit much, then I'll go ahead and erase. And then I'm gonna do a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my highlight, but the angle of this picture really didn't show my highlight, so there's not really much I could do there, but I just detailed it just a tad. So I'm gonna check that off. I'm gonna go back into details again, and the reason why I'm going back again is because I want the details to be like at different intensities in different parts of like my face. Like I want my highlight to be a lower intensity than my eyeshadow, for example. So I'm just gonna go in and detail my eyeshadow a little bit. And you can zoom out and really see how much you want it to be detailed. And sometimes with the detail on the shimmers, it gets a little bit crazy, so just be careful with that. So I'm probably just gonna leave it like a little bit over halfway. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go back into Retouch again. And I believe you can just stay in here and do like different things, but then I get confused, so I just like to completely exit out. So I'm gonna go into Vibrance, and I'm just gonna go over my eyeshadow. Obviously, we're not gonna leave it that intense, but I'm just gonna do it like that for now, and then we will lower it a bunch. But this is such a great feature because I feel like colors don't really stand out in pictures, especially when it comes to eyeshadow. As you guys can see, like the picture in general is just very gray toned. So for the color to stand out on my eyes, it would be very difficult because the color is just very gray toned. So I can raise this and lower this as much as I want to. I'm probably gonna raise it like right there. And then I might go over here and kind of erase a little bit because I feel like it's a little much in that top corner. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. And that's the before and after as of right now. There's a difference, but it's not that big of a difference. I'm gonna go back into Vibrance again, and I'm just gonna do this all over my body. I'm gonna erase around my eyes because we already Vibranced my eyeshadow. And this is just gonna bring some color back into my skin because I look kind of washed out and gray toned, like I said. So I'm just gonna bring this up like the littlest bit, probably right there at 18. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. So something that I would also do is I will go into paint. I dye my hair black usually, but sometimes my roots tend to come in, or my hair just looks lighter, or my hair starts fading. So I'll go into tones, and I'll take the black shade, and I will literally color in all of my hair. And it's gonna look really crazy at first, but I promise it'll look normal once I lower it down. And then you can kind of play with it and see how dark you want it to be. I'll probably leave it like right at 37. And then I can go back into tones again with the black, and I can actually just darken up my eyeliner. I don't usually do this I sometimes do this, but I think it makes the eye look stand out a lot more when you just intensify the liner, because sometimes the liner isn't as black as I would like it to be. And as you guys can see, it just makes it look a lot more bold, and you can raise it and lower it, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like pretty close to the top. So after I save this picture to my camera roll, I'm just gonna exit out of this app and I'm gonna go into VSCO or VSCO. I have no idea how to say that app's name, but I'm just gonna go ahead and download this picture. As you guys can see, I have like the edited version down here. So the cool thing about this app is that you can copy the edit. So I can just click on this picture and press copy edits. And typically if I have a picture on the white wall like this, I want the same like filter and contrast and sharpness and everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paste the edits on there. And as you guys can see, it's definitely not identical. I think I might have added a glow like all over my face in this picture. But I think that's the only difference. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on this picture now that I have the things pasted on there, and I'll just go ahead and show you the filter that I have on there. So the filter that I always use that actually just comes with the app, it's like one of the first ones. It's called A5. I love that it's like a cool tone blue. So I always use this filter, and you can take it up as high and as low as you want. I usually leave it like a little bit below the halfway point. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that. And then I believe I left the exposure and contrast the same on this picture. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and go to saturation. You can obviously take this as high and as low as you want. Ooh, bye. And I'm just gonna lift it a little bit more because I feel like I can lift it to like a 6. And then you can go into temperature if you want, and you can make it a little bit cool tone, make it a little bit more warm tone. I'm just gonna leave it where it is because I think it looks pretty cool tone as is. So then typically this is where I would leave the picture at. I'm just gonna go ahead and save it to my camera roll. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go over to This is an app that I found recently that I've been obsessed with. It is so convenient, especially if you wanna get your feed to flow. So the really cool thing about this is that you can just click on the picture, and I could like hide a picture like this, I think. And then you can see how your feed looks like without those pictures, which I think is really cool and helps me decide like which pictures can stay and which pictures need to go. So for example, if I wanted to plan out my feed, it gives you all of these grids. That way you can just keep stacking pictures. That way you have like tons of pictures planned in advance in like the perfect order. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that picture, and then you can see how it'll look on your feed. I would probably go back in personally and whiten the background just a little bit more just to make it flow better. But it's totally personal preference. That's the great thing about this app, is that you can see how it looks with the rest of your pictures. So I could go back and whiten this picture and then add it back, and it would look a little bit better. I probably wouldn't post this picture to my main Instagram. Usually pictures like this go onto my glam page. But I'm gonna go ahead and edit one more picture for you guys, like a stand-up picture that I would put on my main feed. I think I'm gonna do this one right here because this one would be pretty easy to show you guys. So one thing I am gonna do that I'm gonna be completely honest about is I'm gonna zoom in to like my armpit area, and I'm just gonna take refine, and I'm just gonna kind of refine it. And I don't go too crazy, but that's probably what I would leave it at. That's probably how I did it for my picture. I know it's not a big deal, probably no one would notice, but that is the only thing that I'm going to touch on my body because that's the only thing that really bothered me. So now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go to Retouch, of course, and Whiten, and I'm gonna whiten the background. Oh, good. I'm gonna whiten the background, of course, like I always do. And I'm just gonna do this super quickly, so if it's kind of messy, just bear with me. And I could even whiten the bottom. I don't know if I did this in my picture, but I just want to show you guys because I feel like it looks a little bit cleaner. And you guys can see the difference. And I know it's super messy. You can just go in and erase around. So I'm just going to take this down a little bit. And I'm going to leave it right there. And then I'll probably go in with Vibrance. And I'm just going to do that all over my body. And then I'm just gonna take it down a little bit and I'm going to raise it to about 17, maybe higher. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at like 22. And then I could darken my hair a little bit if I really wanted to. And then I'm gonna go ahead and detail my bag and my shoes. So that's all I'm gonna do for this picture. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this to my camera roll. I'm going to go back into VSCO. I'm going to add this picture. You can also use like VSCO as like and like plan out your feed through here, but personally I like better because it has like the exact layout. And I'm gonna do this one from scratch to show you. So I'm just gonna go into A5. I'm gonna raise it to like 4.0. And then I'm gonna go into contrast maybe, raise that to like 0.2, sharpen just a little bit. And then that's typically all I would do. I can raise the saturation a little bit and then I'll go ahead and save that to my camera roll. So I think that's pretty much it for how I edit my Instagram pictures. I hope this video was helpful to some of you guys, and I'm sorry it was kind of like all over the place, but if you guys did like this video, then definitely give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you guys do want to see me do that video on how I make my thumbnails, because I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I actually love making thumbnails. That might be one of my favorite parts of uploading a YouTube video, because I just love making thumbnails so much. So let me know if you guys want to see how I do that. I would love to show that to you guys. Again, don't forget that my Instagrams are both Lamia Dagher and Glam by Lamia, so if you guys want to follow me, then definitely do so, because I would love to have you guys join me over there. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys next time.